Hi,
Hi,
morning to
Manhab.
you.
Hi. Good morning. Good evening for you guys.
Good, yeah, good
Hi.
How
evening.
are you? How are you doing?
All good. How are you?
Good, good. Hey, Sunita.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, Sweet.
Good.
Good evening,
Good
ma'am.
morning. Good evening. Good morning.
Now we can
So,
see you.
good. So, Manhab, I believe you need to give both of us access to share our screen.
Yeah,
Can I do that?
I will give that access. Yeah,
Okay, okay,
I have
good.
just given that access. Please check if you can do it now.
Yes, it worked perfect for me.
Great.
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 I think we'll begin in a minute or so. Yeah.
So, Manhab, we're looking at 1 hour, right? 1 hour for this event.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Starting
Good.
from 7 p.m. 7 p.m. here and 8:30 a.m. there.
Okay, great, great.
Vidit, are we starting?
We'll start in a minute now.
Okay.
So, Madhav, I believe we can begin now.
Okay, so we'll begin with the session now. Good evening, all the panelists and attendees. I'm Madhav, student of Sri Aurobindo College, and I'll be hosting today's session. Welcome to FINVERSE, organized by NIVESH, the Finance and Investment Cell of Sri Aurobindo College, University of Delhi. Now, without further ado, I would like to begin with the session. So today I'm really honored. Today we have not one but two different speakers present with us. I take huge pleasure to welcome our first speaker of the session, Ms. Lee Lu. She is Head of Speakers Bureau and External Affairs Officers at the World Bank. She has supported many key initiatives at the bank, also worked as Communication Officer in East Asia and Pacific region of World Bank. Before working for World Bank, she worked as marketing specialist for many startups and has also experienced working for various media companies like CNN Beijing, Australia Channel 7, etc. She holds master degree in communication from Stanford University. I take immense pleasure to welcome Ms. Lee among us. So,
Thank you, Manhab.
move-
Very nice
okay.
meeting you guys
And then,
met virtually. And thank you again, Manhab, for arranging this, for inviting me and my colleague Sunita. This evening, we're very happy to be here and also to give you guys an overview about the World Bank, who we are, what we do, where we work, how we prioritize our work, and how we operate. And then my colleague Sunita, she would give you guys our in-depth analysis of the World Bank's program in India, including some of the resources, opportunities that will be available for university students. Okay, so
I'll just take, Lee, Ms. Lee. I'll just take a second to introduce Sunita ma'am also.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So
our second speaker, we have Ms. Sunita Malhotra ma'am, who has been working for World Bank India for over 20 years. She organizes competitions, discussions, and training sessions for youth across the country. She conducts open data and open development trainings, which help a lot of people to know about the World Bank and its resources. She also facilitates a series of discussions by senior economists at the World Bank and many reputed educational institutes. Previously, she has worked at the Economic Center for an NGO as well as library management software company for automation of library. It's really great to have Sunita Malhotra ma'am with us today. Thank you. Okay, now as we continue with the session, so the sincere request to all the attendees, they can just hold back their questions until the end of session. And we also have with us Mr. Vidit Chauhan, who is president of our society, NIVESH. Vidit, if you would like to add something.
Sure, Madhav. Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone, and a very warm welcome for all for today's session. It is indeed a great pleasure and honor to have both Ms. Lilu and Ms. Sunita Malhotra to be with us here as our esteemed speaker for today. And on behalf of NIVESH, the Finance Investment Cell, and the whole Sri Aurobindo College, I would like to thank both of you for sparing your valuable time for us. And now, without any further ado, I'd like to hand over the platform to Ms. Lee. Over to you, ma'am.
Great, thanks again, everyone. Okay, so let me share my screen and start the presentation. Okay, here we go. Okay, so today, like I said, I'm going to give you an overview of the World Bank Group and our missions and goals, staff, history, our work, and how we support developing countries. So first of all, what is the World Bank? What is the World Bank Group? The World Bank Group itself is like a unique global partnership. We have 189 member countries, staff members from more than 117 countries, and offices in over 140 locations. The World Bank Group consists of 5 institutions which are working for sustainable solutions that reduces poverty and build shared prosperity in developing countries. So these are the 5 institutions that constitute the World Bank Group. Of course, these are all acronyms and you don't have to memorize all of them. All you need to remember is with these 5 institutions, the World Bank Group works with both governments and the private sector. So the first arm of the World Bank Group is what we call IBRD, International Bank for Reconstruction and Development. This works with governments of middle and low income countries. The second arm, IDA, International Development Association, this is our fund for the poorest countries of the world. So it provides financing on highly concessional terms. The third arm, IFC, International Finance Corporation, it provides loans, equities, advisory services to stimulate the private sector investment in developing countries. And then we have MIGA, Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency. It provides political risk insurance and credit enhancement to investors and lenders to facilitate foreign direct investment in emerging economies. And the fifth one, ICSID, this you can consider it as our internal tribunal. So together, IBRD and IDA, they work with governments. So these two form the World Bank, which provides financing, policy advice, and technical assistance to governments of developing countries. So here, the key message is, again, because the challenges faced by developing countries are enormous. So government and the private sector need to work together to help developing countries to tackle these challenges. So with these 5 institutions, the World Bank is offering the complementary roles of both governments and the private sector, a unique ability to connect global financial resources, knowledge, and innovative solutions for developing countries. So talking about that, at the core of our mission is the goal to end extreme poverty. So by that, we mean to end extreme poverty, to decrease the percentage of people living with less than $1.90 per day to no more than 3% by 2030. Okay, so if for you guys who are studying economics, you may be familiar with our poverty line, right? That's the global poverty line. How we measure poverty, that's $1.90 per day. And the second goal of our mission is to promote shared prosperity. This means to promote income growth of the bottom 40% of population of each country. So behind this mission is our staff. We are very proud of the diversity of our multidisciplinary staff, who include economists, public policy experts, sector experts as well, right? Experts who are working in different development sectors, social scientists. They are based at both the headquarters in Washington, D.C. and in the field. Today, almost half of the World Bank's over 12,000 full-time staff are based in the field, our 140 locations. So where did this journey start, right? So here is a timeline of the history of the World Bank. The story started in 1944. That's close to the end of World War II. So this picture in the corner, in the left bottom corner, was taken in 1944 in Bretton Woods, New Hampshire, US. Representatives from 44 countries met at Bretton Woods to create the World Bank and our sister institution, the International Monetary Fund. These two institutions, usually called Bretton Woods institutions, inaugurated a new system of international cooperation to help countries recover from World War II through long-term economic growth for both recovering and developing countries alike, right? So I already said the first time of World Bank group is IBRD, International Bank for Reconstruction and Development. This speaks a lot about the initial role of the World Bank. That's about reconstruction. As then US President Franklin Roosevelt famously remarked, evidence will be furnished at Bretton Woods that men of different nationalities have learned how to adjust possible differences and how to work together as friends. The things that we need to do must be done, can only be done in concert. And the rest, like they say, is history. In time, the focus of our work also shifted from reconstruction to development. Today, the World Bank's work touches nearly every sector that is important to fighting poverty, supporting economic growth, and improving people's lives. So how do we do that, right? So what's the pillar of our work? Here are three pillars of our work. First, development projects. So we provide an array of financial products and technical assistance, right? So this is what we call development projects, how we help developing countries. The second pillar of work is knowledge. We help countries share and apply innovative knowledge and solutions. And the third pillar of our work is partnerships, our convening power, as we are calling for collective actions on many of the challenges faced by developing countries. But let's take a deep dive at each of them. First of all, development projects. Since 1947, the World Bank has funded over 12,000 development projects via traditional loans, interest-free credits, and grants, right? So in that sense, we are still a bank. We are a development bank. What do we do exactly? We finance public projects to build physical and social infrastructure and develop institutional capacity. We also finance government programs to support achievements of their own objectives and support policy and institutional reforms of national and subnational governments by providing budget financing and global expertise. Thirdly, we offer support to countries in designing or implementing better policies, strengthening institutions, building capacities, informing strategies or operations. Second pillar of our work, knowledge. Our knowledge, research, and data products provide a valuable global public good, offering relevant analysis and insights that are embedded in our operations. This support informed decision-making by countries and guide the global development agenda. So in that sense, we are also a knowledge bank, right? So here on this screenshot, there are a few snapshots of our flagship publications. So the key message here is, if you go to Open Knowledge Repository, the World Bank's repository, you will have access to all these publications for free. I think Sunita will give you guys a more in-depth look into Open Knowledge Repository. So at the center of this screenshot is the World Bank's World Development Report. It's an annual publication which has been out since 1978. It's a guide to the economic, social, and environmental state of the world today. Each report also provides in-depth analysis and the policy recommendations on a specific and important aspect of development. So this year's issue, the focus is on data. The second one above data, the World Development Report on data is Global Economic Prospects. It's another flagship report which examines global economic development and prospects with a special focus on emerging market and developing economies. So this is a semi-annual basis report. It publishes every year in January and June. And the fourth one I want to introduce here today is the Human Capital Index. This uses the most recent health and education data available as of 2020. It documents new evidence on trends over time in the Human Capital Index, examples of success, and new analytical work on utilization of human capital. And the last one is Women, Business, and the Law. This is also an annual publication. It actually it measures the laws and the regulations that affect women's economic opportunity in 190 economies. It presents 8 indicators structured around the women's interaction with the law as they move through their lives and careers, including mobility, workplace, pay, marriage, parenthood, entrepreneurship, assets, and pension. So now let's look at the third pillar of our work, partnership. We engage with a diverse range of partners to exchange ideas and help build political and financial support for our mission. So on these slides, there are a few logos of some of the partners we work with very closely, but of course, our partners, the list of our partners goes beyond that, because we realize no more than ever the challenges we face demand collective action. Climate change, conflict, poverty, and fragility, these challenges cannot be addressed alone, not just by the World Bank or not just by other development banks. Lasting solutions will require new partnerships and coalitions. We engage with a diverse range of partners to exchange ideas and help build support for our mission. So these partners include multilateral institutions, other multilateral institutions, civil society organizations, faith-based organizations, parliamentarians, and the private sector. So for example, we continue work very closely with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation to support programs in gender, health, social protection, and financial services. This partnership has also been crucial in our work to tackle COVID-19. So like I said, World Bank is a unique partnership, right? So at the core of our business is providing support to client countries, to developing countries. Our support is global. We operate out of 142 countries worldwide. So this is the portfolio map of fiscal year 21. In FY21, the World Bank Group has made a commitment of $98.8 billion in loans, grants, equity investment, and guarantees to partner countries and the private businesses. Okay, so this is across the 5 institutions of the World Bank Group. So here I'm going to hand over to my colleague Sunita, because now we're talking about the global support, and you can see the numbers of how much money, how much investment the World Bank has committed to different parts of the world. So this is a good time for Sunita to step in to give you guys a snapshot of our program in India. So let me stop share here, and over to you, Sunita.
Thank you, Lee. And it's my pleasure to be here today for this event. And I would now like to share my screen. Let's see if I can. Can you see my screen?
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
okay. Okay. So I'll put it into the. Okay. So Lee has very nicely explained about our inception, origin of the World Bank, and how we work together with other partners, and what all we do to reduce poverty and all. So in India, what I would like to tell you that India was one of the founding members of IBRD, because when we started with IBRD in 1944, and later on all the other agencies, our sister agencies, they came in, and we started calling it World Bank. IBRD and IDA, which Lee has rightly said, is now World. We have a branch of IFC also, which is also located in Delhi. So this is just to let you know. And then this article of agreement was signed in 1905. I'm sorry, my connection is very little bad, so I will just, I think, close my video. And India took its first loan in 1949 for modernization of Indian Railway, and almost around, say, for 20. So there we stopped, and but again, now you know that railway modernization. Oh, 1 second. And now we have completed 75 years of World Bank in India. And there is a very nice video on our website. I'll show you where to go to watch this video, which gives you idea right from the beginning, from 1949 onwards, what are the bigger projects which we have done in India. Say, for example, ports, power and steel plant, green revolution, white revolution, irrigation, any sector you name, we have worked in that. And you will be able to learn little bit more on about these sectors in our video. So now recently, like, we are working on EDFC, Dedicated Freight Corridor, Eastern Dedicated Freight Corridor, which will help having a separate railway line for the freight, which will help passengers trains to move faster, and goods also to reach in time before they get destroyed, or say sometimes there are things which get destroyed on the way when we are going by road. So, and we are also working on inland waterways, where for greener transportation, and we are working with the government on Ganga rejuvenation, and Swachh Bharat. COVID, we have supported about $3 billion for the COVID in 2020, and we are working with MSMEs also to support them in that. So in March, like for COVID crisis, March and June itself, we have supported for $2.75 billion for, say, India's health sector, helping protect people from COVID, and getting, kind of face mask and this and that, all the health things, and supporting economic stabilization also. And in December 15, again, we committed another $400 million for the social protection project. So there is a link. I'll share the presentation and you can go through the link, or I'll show you at the end if we have time. I'll show you where to go for it. This program in all, as Lee said, we are working in all the sectors. So we also in India work in all the sectors like agriculture, trade, health, nutrition, social protection, water, sanitation, whatever you can think of in the development sector, we work in all that. But then there are some cross-cutting solutions also, which we would like to have in all our projects: job creation, looking at for the climate protection, then public-private partnership, gender involvement. All these are the cross-cutting solutions for all the sectors. So this is how India's investments are. Like you can see with in the pie chart, the maximum number of projects, total projects, active projects are 97, although the total projects we have supported is more than 800 projects for India. And the agriculture is the maximum. You can see 16 projects currently active in here, and then energy and energy. Then we have health sector, which is the bigger one, and urban infrastructure. All this you can see we maximum. These are the energy, urban transport are the highest number, and they are the highest in volume also. That means maximum money is going into these sectors. You can see agriculture, $3.3 billion. And here again, energy sector, $2.6 billion. And when we are talking about energy, I don't know whether you people know that the Delhi Metro is run on solar power. So that project was also funded by the World Bank, by IFC actually. IFC and World Bank together, they are funded. So as we said that India is a low middle income country. So how we, sorry, it's automatically moving. Okay, so this is how we, like, you know, we classify the countries by GNI per capita, Atlas method. So India, you can see in 2019, it was its GNI per capita was 2,130, but in 2020, it came down to 1,900. So 2021 figures are not yet there, but this is how we consider India as a low middle income country. And India is no more getting IDA funding. It is since 2017, that was the last when they got IDA funding. And although the projects are still running, because the project's lifetime is 5 to 6 years, or sometimes it's more than that. So some projects are still running, but we are no more eligible for IDA funding. So, sorry. So this is, you know, I'm sorry, this thing is moving automatically. I think automatic setting is done. So what I do is I also organize competitions and discuss series. We used to go our we also invite foreign students to our office for their study tour, and senior economists, they meet and they share with them about the with Ramjas College. They have they have created this South Asia Students Economic Meet. And then I, as you mentioned in my introduction, that I organize open data training for students and teachers, so that, you know, they can do their research work easily. So if you feel like, having that training, that we will have separately, and that is around, say, 1.5 hours training. So we organize quiz competitions, blog competitions, case study competitions. In blog competition, we took students to see our projects in Gandhi, and we do give them prizes like marine plastic pollution we did last year. And is like marine plastic pollution, the winners were then given the opportunity to make their presentation to South Asia Forum, and then they went into the international forum also. With lots of competition, all of you, please join those your international participation also. You come to know that how other in international forum they are working. By the project MDs, the MDs of these
Ma'am, we can't hear you anymore. I think there's some network issue at your end.
Oh. Probably there's some connection issues on this side. So yeah, I can quickly step in here because Sunita has briefed me as well of all the exciting opportunities and activities she's organizing in India. So the key message here is we are engaging very actively with young population, with university students across the world. So in India, actually, Sunita is running a very dynamic program, including case studies, case competitions, like this dialogue opportunities with our senior economists, with country directors, and also with some of the senior management, including our managing directors, vice president who are visiting India when there's an opportunity. So all these opportunities you guys can check on World Bank's website for India. That's worldbank.org/India. Okay, Sunita is back.
All these opportunities, thanks Lee for putting. I don't know why my connection is,
But now you're back and we can hear very clearly. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So all these things we do put it up on our India. Each country has their own website portal within World Bank website. So India also has their own website, and we are very active on Facebook. This is our Facebook link, and we have around 2.3 million people following us, and we are active on Twitter also, where all the senior level, you can say government officials like Nitin Gadkari to Piyush Goyal to PMO's office and all, they are our followers. So you can see that how much important that Twitter and Facebook account is for us. And we also post all our information. At least 2 posts go every day on our Facebook. So this is how we do. And we have organized this road safety competition also. I'll just show you now some of the competitions which you can see on our Facebook. This is 1-minute video which we organized. We wanted to, students to tell us that how they felt during COVID, and what do they think about the future of education. So again, the winners were given 10, 7, and 5,000 of Indian rupees. And when we are working for, this is our new competition, which I would like you to participate in that. It's again available on our Facebook page. And in this competition also, you need to form a team of 2 to 3 students. And the process is like that you first register here, and we are collaborating here, this one with IIM Lucknow, and they will post a quiz first of all. And because the students who register here, they are more than 2,000-3,000 sometimes. So they post a quiz. Their quiz will be on 12th of February. And then they select around say 50% or say 40% depending. So around say 500 students they select. They are given the 2-pager of this particular final competition. Out of that, you have to again submit a 2 say slide presentation. Then their professor, he's 7. So
We can't hear you. Yeah.
You can't hear me again? Oh,
I think
Can't
there's
you-
There was a
bit of
lag, I
lag.
guess.
okay.
Yeah, there was a
wait,
lag.
Okay, so I'll again explain the process. The process is that, you first register on the website, and then there will be a quiz on 12th of February. Out of that, only say 500 students are selected. Then these students are given this 2-pager, which is written by our unit, our team, on this developing multimodal transport case competition. You have to submit only 2 slides presentation. Okay. So these 2 slides then are judged by the IIM Lucknow professor, who will select best 8 teams out of that. And these teams are like 2 to 3 students. They work together. You have to work in the team. And then the final presentation is made in front of the jury members. These jury members consist of 1 from the World Bank, 1 from the project side, and 1 from the IIM Lucknow. And sometimes there are 5 jury members. As you know, the jury members should be in odd number. So if we have, so we sometimes have 5. So this is the one which is on, and there is another one. This one also, this is South Asia has posted this competition, ditch plastic this Valentine's Day. So you have to, this is not South Asia, this is Global World Bank has put it, and we are also supporting that. So and also, this is now block competition was for age 16 to 19, but that is now date is, I have seen today, the date was 31st January. So that's out. So this is how we have done. And I would like to show you how, we finally post it and on our website also. So in case it opens it, see, all the students are there. And then this person, he's from Afghanistan. He's a Director General of SSAP, so South Asia Environment Program. So we do post all these information on our website, and see, this is how you get visibility on our website. So I'll come back to the presentation. What else I do have? So we do have blogs also. You can put up your views on the blogs as well. And I think if you would like, if we have time, I can go to the website and show you a little bit on our website also. Shall I?
Yes, ma'am. We do.
Sure, ma'am. Sure, ma'am. Sure.
So this is our main website. And as Lee has mentioned that we have lots of projects. This you can see all our projects here. What we do under that, you can see our projects by country, by sector or theme, you can see. And this is our knowledge product. Under what we do only, we have knowledge projects and research and publication. And then another thing what we have is learning opportunities for all of you. So in that we have open learning campus. We have open learning campus, which is, it's coming up, I think. And where we have courses from say 4 to 6 weeks courses. These are all free of cost courses, and you can do like, at your own pace. A facilitator is also always available for any problems which you have, where you have been given the reading material and course and everything. And there are 3
Can't hear, ma'am.
It's loading. So.
Okay, can you hear me? Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
Yes,
So
Sunita, go ahead.
WBX talks also, we organize talks for say 60 to 90 minutes talk, which you can see, and you can join those talks. Then we have WBC Connect. In this WBC Connect, you can get connected with international experts, through emails and all. So do join and see. Here you have calendar. You can see in the calendar. I will not open because it will show all the staff events. I'm sorry, my connection is also very bad today. So, and then we also have development topics. If you want,
I think it's connecting a little bit slowly. So in terms of development topics, like Sunita has shown you guys our organization map of our global practices and then cross-cutting solutions. So we have 19 business lines. So that's how we internally organize our work. So including all the sectors you can think about. If you are interested in one of its development topics, make sure check out our website and you would get a more in-depth knowledge on all these issues, and also to know the World Bank's global programs on these issues. Okay, so I believe Sunita is reconnecting, but I guess this is a nice segue that we can have some Q&As with you guys. I've noticed that you guys are already posting questions in the chat box. So I can probably start with a few global questions.
I think recite these questions for you and then you can answer.
Yeah, and for the Indian specific ones and those questions for Sunita, I will leave for her to answer when she's back online. Okay, so Madhav, do you want to moderate or what should we do now? Or should I just go through the list of questions?
It's okay if okay, you can go through the questions and select the questions you want to answer on your level. That will be fine, I guess.
Okay, good. So the first one, how does the World Bank control world economy? We don't control the world economy per se. So what we are doing, we are supporting economic growth of developing countries. Okay, if you consider that's our contribution to the growth of world economy, that's our role. So for more of that, I mentioned today our mission and the goals, right? So just to remember, that's how we help developing countries. Okay, so that's the answer to the first question. And the second question, when it comes to economic growth in the year 2022, what's the projection of economic growth in India? And how is that compared to developed countries like USA, Japan, and UK? So here, remember guys, I actually cited today our flagship report, that's Global Economic Prospects. So that's the exact report where we make projections of economic growth every year, including mostly for developing countries, but including some of the biggest economies. So here I just put out the number. Global economic growth will dip sharply from 5.5% in 2021 to 4.1% in 2022. And this is the economic growth rate. And our projection for 2023 is 3.2. But India's annual growth is projected to be 8.3% in the current fiscal year. And our projection for next year is 8.7. Okay, so this is actually good news for India's economy. I mean, if you think about it, of course, this growth has a lot to do with the decline in the growth rate, right? Like the setback of economic growth because of COVID in the previous 2 years. So for that, I recommend again that you go to our website for Global Economic Prospects, and you can see the numbers for other countries, not just India, not just global, but also US. So for example, for US, growth rate is 3.8, which is actually quite a big jump for US as well. I mean, consider pre-COVID, for example, in 2019, their growth rate is 1.7, right? And in Europe as well. Europe growth rate 3.7, Japan 2.9, which is also a very big jump for them because pre-COVID, its economy has been actually declining. Okay, so that's for this question. And so this is a question about the partnership between India and the World Bank. When Sunita is back, probably we can come back to that question. Next one about global digital currency. So we don't have plans regarding introducing the global digital currency because the World Bank is a development bank. Okay, so that's a very big difference in our role as compared to Reserve Bank of India, right? So that's the central bank and also the Central Bank of India, right? So, and also like that's also a difference between our role as a development bank and our sister institution, International Monetary Fund, right? So sometimes people mistake us for each other or got confused about our roles, but IMF's role is mainly on the monetary policy, fiscal, regarding to the monetary system. Okay, so probably they have some work on digital currency. I don't know, but I mean, definitely this is not an area that the World Bank is working on. Okay, so here, the next question, Indian government and the World Bank has agreed on a credit agreement to support and finance the SSA projects. So this is actually a quite landmark and quite a milestone for the World Bank and the Indian partnership. So for this one, right, I mean, again, I'm not an expert on India and I cannot speak for my colleagues from the Indian office who are working on this project. But in terms of the project itself, a very big improvement or progress or even like internally big innovation for the World Bank is how we emphasize on the learning outcomes, on the quality of education, right? Because this is also one of the big achievements of the human capital project at the World Bank. Because when we look at learning, look at the learning poverty, when we look at improving education, right? So what we found is in previous years, actually, many developing countries has made big progress in providing universal access to education to its people, right? Which means kids, young kids, girls, boys, they can go to school. But then we found out how much actually they did learn from school, right? So that's still very questionable. In many cases, they sit in classes, but they don't learn. So that's why with this project, SSA, what we're trying to emphasize is on the learning outcome, right? To make sure they actually get knowledge from education. They are actually learning at school. That's also, like you said as well, right? Like also including how we evaluate children's progress, right? So this is a full package which comes with different components for this project. And also, just like Sunita has shown you guys, so for the World Bank, we make all our project information publicly available. Okay, so these are not confidential information for us. It's not just I'm sharing this with you, right? So if you go to the website, you go to the website, the project website for SSA, you can see all this project information, including the outcome, including the results. So we make all these project documents in the public domain. So definitely, yeah, definitely. Also, I think this is a good exercise for you guys, right? So if you go through all the project documents, you would understand, okay, how the World Bank is managing projects, right? How the World Bank is working with governments, central governments, provincial governments to deliver results. Okay, the next question. China has recently overcome absolute poverty. And what do you think has been a key aspect? Okay, so yes, you use the accurate word is absolute poverty, right? Because when we measure absolute poverty is 1.90 US dollars per day. But as you guys who are studying economics, you would know with $190 per day, you cannot do much, right? So that's why we also have two other different poverty lines to measure poverty. So for middle income countries and for upper middle income countries, okay? So they're still developing countries, but they are upper middle income countries. So China is now upper middle income country, right? So which means there's still a long way to go. But of course, because of this progress made by China, it has contributed to the global poverty reduction. So we do recognize that. And that's why in the bank, right? So China remains to be a partner, mainly also to share experience in its poverty reduction with other developing countries. That's what we call South-South knowledge exchange, right? These developing countries share knowledge with each other. So, I mean, in terms of like the secrets to the success or the recipes of the success in China's achievement in poverty reduction, I think, of course, this is a very complicated issue, right? Because if you look at the size of the Chinese economy right now, it's the second biggest economy in the world, right? Of course, continuously developing its economy definitely helped the poverty reduction. There's no doubt about it, right? But when you think about that, China has a huge population. It has 1.3 billion people, right? So then when it comes to per capita income, it's still a developing country, right? So there are, of course, again, there are different elements to this question. So yeah, I recommend, so we do have a lot of research work on this, and not, I mean, I think they are working on another one, but a flagship report on China's progress, including how the World Bank is working together with Chinese government, was captured in a report called China 2030. That was published almost 5 years ago, but when you think about it, 2030 is just 80 years from now, right? So, and when you talk about 2030, you guys may know Sustainable Development Goals is also talking about 2030. What's the vision for 2030, right? So by 2030, we hope to reduce the global poverty to less than 3%, right? So just with the progress achieved in China is definitely not enough. right? We need to look at other countries, other big countries, other populous countries. Okay, so
Lee, just there is a question here. I want to ask it, and
go ahead.
may I ask?
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Are there any internship or research opportunities with the World Bank, and how can we benefit and make the most of it?
Yes. Yes. Okay. So yes. So we do have internship programs, and actually, unfortunately, because I was in another briefing last week, so the deadline for the summer internship was last week. So if you guys haven't applied yet, it's closed for this summer. But definitely make sure to check out the website. It's worldbank.org/jobs. So on the jobs website, we also posting all kinds of career opportunities, not just the formal jobs, including internships. So we have internship programs every summer and winter. And internships, it's kind of like a database, right? So you submit your application package, your resume, your cover letter, and also indicate your interest, including your majors, right? And if that's matched by the hiring unit, because like, again, right, like Sunita mentioned, I mentioned as well, we are a very big institution. We have 19 business lines plus other units which are providing supporting services, right? So there are a lot of units who are doing their own hiring initiatives. Another way to do that is also to follow the World Bank's LinkedIn. And like Sunita mentioned, India has a Facebook page and a Twitter channel. I believe if they are hiring, they would also post through those channels, right? But I mean, but you don't have to be limited to the opportunities in India, especially in the virtual environment. There are definitely opportunities across the world. So that's one thing. Research opportunities, yes, as well. So at the World Bank, that's also a type of employment, not employment, like a type of work, is what we call consultancy. So we are also hiring short-term consultants on a regular basis. But again, these opportunities are advertised mostly by the units themselves, right? So, and many consultants came to us actually through their own network or their university's network or their professor's recommendation, right? Because, for example, if like one of your alumni is already working at the World Bank, right? So they may come to their professor who can be your professor at the moment, right? And make a recommendation. So these are all opportunities available, but I mean, definitely plan ahead and play for the longer term, because I mean, usually the qualifications we are looking at include a master's degree, right? Plus some years of working experience. So I'm not saying that for undergrad, there are fewer opportunities, but in terms of like offering a job or engaging systematically in research work at the World Bank, there might be fewer chances as compared to someone who has a master's degree, right? And also, I mean, like Sunita's presentation was cut off a little bit, but I think there were a lot of exciting opportunities. And like I do this with other country offices as well. I'd say she does run the most dynamic program engaging youth and university students across the world, right? Like I've never seen so many activities, competitions available to university students, and they're all like very meaningful. You see what I mean? Because I actually, it was the first time for me also to learn about the new competition, which is ending in 3 days, right? So I remember the deadline. I remember the deadline is February 11th. Yeah. So go to the Facebook page and check out those websites. Check out those opportunities as well, because also one way to be engaged, to get your foot inside the World Bank, right, is to join this kind of activities. Like as Sunita said, also they do have a very robust pipeline of blogs, young people, right? And they're also doing crowdsourcing activities from young people, right? Like listening to their ideas, amplifying their voices. These are all a lot of exciting opportunities that you guys can engage, and you wouldn't know, right? What would that take you next step? Okay, so mentorship programs. I don't think we have official mentorship programs at the moment. So we do have, I mean, for our staff members, we do have some type of mentorship programs, like more senior staff with younger staff, right? Headquarter staff with country office-based staff. But I don't think that is a formal mentorship program by the World Bank with external participants. But yeah, but go to our website and check out the information. But like I said, because mentorship comes in different formats, right? So if you join a competition, if you join a contest or join one of these activities, you got to know somebody, and that person could be your mentor, right? So yeah, just be open-minded about this. Okay, are there any other questions might have? Oh, COVID.
Yeah, I don't see any other questions. Something related to COVID, yeah, it was posted.
Well, they have to do their search. Does COVID-19 contribute stronger in inflation? That's a really good question. So COVID-19 is definitely has brought a major setback in poverty reduction for World Bank, for the World Bank's work, right? Because it's relevant to World Bank's work. We are looking at the poverty. We are looking at the poverty data. And actually, our latest research has shown 100 million people has been pushed into poverty because of COVID. And it's additionally, okay, so additional 100 million people has been pushed back into poverty because of COVID. So I don't have time to show that today. So when we look at the poverty reduction, and we covered China today, but actually for global poverty reduction efforts, right? So we do have this very good trend of production, poverty reduction every year, right? So it was on a good trend. And of course, in terms of achieving poverty rate to decrease poverty rate to less than 3% by 2030, that's still a very ambitious goal, but the trend was going down, right? So like globally, each country has been making progress in poverty reduction, but then COVID hit, right? So then the whole world economy has suffered this major setback. So now I think the key work for many countries is recovery, right? So when we talk about recovery, we're actually talking about green, resilient, and inclusive recovery, right? So a recovery which we hope to also integrate a lot of climate actions, a recovery which would also be inclusive in terms of how we can benefit everyone, right? Like a 2030 Sustainable Development Agenda. It's like leaving no one behind, right? So these are the opportunities we can see with this recovery progress. Yeah, so, and do research on any projects I will be able to do. So in your studies, definitely, like I said, all our project documents are available publicly. Okay, so they are in the public domain. And for your research purpose, if you are doing some coursework, right, you can definitely do research with our project documents. And yeah, I know we actually welcome students to make use of that. Okay, I see Sunita is back. Sunita.
Yeah,
Can you hear
hi.
us?
Now I'm doing it through mobile hotspot. My internet connection is not working. I'm very sorry. This is the first time this has happened, so I was not prepared for mobile hotspot also.
No, don't worry, don't worry.
Fine,
Okay,
ma'am.
so yeah, I think if we have a few minutes, probably Sunita can answer this question. Do we have a few minutes?
We have time.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, Sunita, there's a question posted online. Probably you cannot see it on mobile, but I can ask him.
Yeah.
So Sunita, you have been organizing a lot of competitions, discussions, training programs. So how has your experience working with these young people?
Oh, working with young people is such a great experience, and I learn a lot. Not only I, our all staff, they are so happy that they say that we learn a lot from these youngsters. That is why we have started all these competitions and all to, same time learn from you people. Your new ideas, they are giving, values to our projects and some new innovations. For example, I just give you a simple example, Ganga Rejuvenation Project, where one of the team members, they proposed to have an app, mobile app, where people are throwing flowers and things like that in the Ganga and all that. So that was appreciated a lot. And then in our next project, they just made sure that we should design an app in the project for this particular. So these new ideas are really helping to innovate our projects also in a different way. So, and moreover, when we organize all this with our country director or with our MDs at talks and all, we really come out, the students really come out with such interesting and such innovative questions. So that is why this engagement is going more and more with so many colleges in every, means till now I might have done more than say 500 training programs on open data. So, and moreover, all these case competitions, everybody is so enthusiastic. They just come to me that we want this year, we want this year. So that is how it is going. So it's a very great
Yeah,
experience.
ma'am, like
I
you
have no
told us
words
about
for
this
that.
competition. Yeah, ma'am, you told us about this competition, case study, and quiz. So we're going to make sure that we promote this competition in our college too. So students from our college to participate in these type of competitions and all these programs you organize for us. Thank you so much for that.
And I just want to add, we are also going to have another competition on human capital. So that is in progress. So we'll be announcing it soon. So both these competitions will
Perfect,
be
ma'am.
good. We
Ma'am,
would
there was
love to
one
hear
question.
from you. Yeah, please.
Yeah. There was one question for you in the chat, in the question answer session. The Indian government and the World Bank has agreed on a credit agreement to support the finance Sarv Shiksha, to support in finance Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan. So how do you think that this program is improving the quality of and how it is developing the learning indicators in order to evaluate children's progress in acquiring education?
See, this is a very specialized question for education specialist actually. May not be in the right position to give you the indicators, but we have, if you see our video, we have made like 20 lakh students to join the Sarv Shiksha Abhiyan project to get entry into schools and all. And when we did our block competition, when I took students to the project side, that was luckily it was an education project, and we went to a remotest area of Gandhinagar, where this school's condition was so good that these students, from graduate students, they said, why don't we again join the LKGs and primary, because the school's education was altogether different than what we have seen in our lives or your lives. Every student is given a separate attention to learn how they learn at their pace. It's not that teacher in classroom will come on the board and write anything. Each student is given separate attention, and the school building is full of all the circles and squares and all this different dimensions, and then the moon, and then the moon's this thing, and then the angles, the doors are open at different angles, so they learn from there. That learning is altogether different in our project. So if you get chance to go to any of the projects, it will be good to see. I will, if we organize a face-to-face training program with you people, then I will show you on our mobile app how you can trace our project near your area, and then you can go and visit those projects also. Although it's very difficult, we are going through us because we have to take permission from the government and then take to that project. But it's very interesting. It's really amazing the way it is going on.
That's great, ma'am. Ma'am, I'd like to conclude the session now. Thank you, Lee, and thank you, Sunita, ma'am, for being here with us today. And surely it was a really great session, and we learned a lot today. Lee, we talked about organizing a full-fledged session with World Bank. So we'll make sure of that we do organize that session. So thank you for being with us today. And to notify all, this was our last session of FINVERSE. And I hope this has been a great event for all of you. We have learned a lot today and in the days before. Thank you all the teachers, principal sir, and all those speakers who have joined us throughout the week. Thank you so much, everyone. With it, if you would like to add something to the session.
I think Madhav, we have pretty much concluded it, but I would like to thank Lee and Sunita ma'am for taking out the time for us, and I'm sure like me, all the other participants in the audience have learned a lot from this, and sure we would love to be connected with you for our future events as well if we can. We will be happy to take as much possible from your intellect and from your years of experience, and we'll be happy to do that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. And for those who are watching online, thank you all for staying at this hour of the evening and for sharing your knowledge with us. And thank you again, Madam, for inviting us and organizing this.
Thank you so much, and look forward to working with you more on this.
Sure, Sunita. I'll personally connect to you about all these events. I'll personally connect to you because I'm really very inspired by all your work you have done for us, for India. So surely I'll get in connection with you again.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Bye. Take care. Thank you, Sunita. Take care. Bye.
Bye, Lee. Bye. Thank you.